What's up, guys? Brian Bott here from Sports Advantage here with Lucas, CJ, and Lucas, our Sports Advantage team. And today we want to talk about a topic that's gaining a lot of momentum, okay, and that's recovery. Okay, a lot of athletes do a great job in the gym, on the field with their practice, things like that. This is a huge step in really making the gains that you want to get. So this is going to be a great resource for young athletes. We try and ask our athletes to do things that are very basic. It's all things that they can do at home, things they can take with them from the gym or do in the gym to really help themselves recover from any type of workout. It's also a great resource for parents out there, okay, to use and show your kids this video and talk to your kids about some of the things we're talking about, because it's very helpful in helping young athletes recover. Okay, so we're going to start with CJ. He's going to talk about sleep a little bit, and then we'll move on from there. All right, go ahead, CJ.
All right, hi guys. One thing that we always stress to our athletes is that they get their sleep, because when you can get your sleep, you get your body in the best condition so that you can perform as best as you can. Now, when you don't get that sleep, things always happen. If you're not sleeping enough, then your body is actually not going to recover, because when you sleep, your body is in recovery mode and it repairs the muscle damage that you sustain with your workouts, with games, and with any practice that you have. Now, if you don't get that, obviously your muscles aren't going to recover. Now, when they don't recover, you're not going to be as fit as you need to be. Also, another thing that happens is your body's immune system shuts down. Now, when that happens, you are more susceptible to illness, you are more likely to get injured, and you are becoming a liability on the field. Now, those are things that you never want to have happen as an athlete. You want to be the best condition you could possibly be in, and you always want to be always having that edge on your opponent. And if you don't get your sleep and don't recover enough, guess what? Then your opponent has that edge on you. Vince Lombardi is one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game, and he even had a best idea of how sleep affects an athlete. The modern athlete knows that physical conditioning and good nutrition are critical in reaching peak athletic performance. However, sleep, while often overlooked, plays an equally important role. In recent years, it's become clear that the quality and quantity of sleep obtained by elite athletes can be the edge between winning and losing on game day.
Go, Pack, go.
What's up, guys? I want to talk about breakfast. So breakfast is something that gets overlooked by everybody, whether it's just grabbing something going out of the door or it's not even anything at all. What that does is just sets you up for, not being successful. Taking the time out of your day to get up, make a good quality breakfast is going to have something that's going to lead to continuous success. You're going to prepare for the day, and that's going to allow you to help just build consistency with the preparation for other things throughout the day. For what breakfast really is like putting good quality food in your body right at the start of the day. We're trying to put good quality protein, good quality fats and carbohydrates into our body so we can recover from the previous workouts, and we can set ourselves up for a high performance day, whether that's through practice or your training. Next, Lucas is going to talk about fruits and vegetables.
So another thing that athletes can do to boost recovery, which ultimately boosts sports performance, is to make sure that they're getting their fruits and vegetables in throughout the day. First and foremost, fruits and vegetables are full of essential vitamins and minerals that athletes need and the daily public needs throughout the day. Next, they're full of important macronutrients. So macronutrients are your carbohydrates, your fats, and your protein. So making sure that we get a variety of fruits and vegetables throughout the day will make sure that we meet those daily standards throughout the day. Next, fruits and vegetables are made up of mostly water, so it's going to help keep an athlete hydrated throughout the day, because we see it here a lot. Athletes very rarely drink enough water. We always preach them to drink enough water. So making sure that they get fruits and vegetables in throughout the day will make sure to keep them hydrated. And lastly, fruits and vegetables contain antioxidants. So antioxidants have a bunch of positive things that they do for the body, but just to name a few, they reduce inflammation, they reduce muscle soreness, and they boost your immune system. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, if an athlete is always suffering from muscle soreness, or if they can't stay healthy, then they're not going to be able to perform to the best of their abilities.
Awesome. Okay, the last thing we want to cover is mobility and flexibility. All right, there's two types of ways that you can take care of the body's tissue, and that's with tissue integrity and tissue length. Okay, the first is tissue integrity, and this has kind of been a big thing in sports performance as of late. All right, the idea of foam rolling, using lacrosse balls, getting massage, things like that, to break up any density developed in the muscle tissue. Okay, and we always want to work on tissue integrity before we create length. Okay, if you can imagine a band that's tied in a knot, okay, when you see an athlete who pulls his hamstring, all right, they typically have a reoccurring issue with that if they're not working on tissue integrity, because what happens in a muscle pull is that muscle hardens up and it balls up, all right, and most people feel they pull it in the exact same spot. Well, that's not true, because what tends to happen is people want to stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch before they break up that density. Well, what you're doing, again, if you're looking at that knot in a band, all right, that ball's there, that's hard, okay, and that's protecting the area that was injured. The area just outside of those two areas, okay, are getting pulled and pulled and pulled, so what you're doing is kind of weakening that muscle tissue more and more and more, and that's where you get more sustained injuries. Okay, so when we talk about integrity, you know, foam rolling has been a big thing. A lot of times we try and suggest either a massage stick or a lacrosse ball, because it's a little more point sensitive, a little more in trigger points. You know, Donnie Thompson uses some real heavy steel to break up tissue integrity with his athletes. So however you go about it, it's very important that you do. After you do that, all right, then we work on tissue length. Okay, and that's basic flexibility. And there's a lot of different ways to do flexibility. Everybody has their own philosophy. We kind of tend to work through more movement-based range of motion, okay, but static stretching at the end can be at the end of your workout can be very beneficial as well, because the muscle's already warmed up. Okay, you've gone through your tissue integrity work before your workout. You've gone through all your range of motion, so the body is loose, so that static stretching can help maintain and restore length into the body as you go through your workout. So we try and prescribe to our kids both when they come in, okay, and when they leave, to do both, work on tissue integrity and mobility. And again, the body usually feels a lot better after you walk out the door, which is another positive effect, okay? So again, just to recap, you know, CJ hit on some great points with sleep. You know, sleep is key, especially in young athletes, especially the ones that are going through puberty, okay, because they're in that growth spurt. And we really need to make sure that the body is recovering as they're going through all the changes that they're going through in life. But as an athlete as well, you know, you can't, and as a general person, you can't replace the amount of sleep. You're going to be more productive at work, you're going to be more productive in your training, and you're just going to be genuinely healthier. Okay, Lucas touched on breakfast, all right, and I think the key that he talked about, everybody has some different philosophies on breakfast, is making sure that it's quality, okay? It doesn't do you any good to get up and eat a bunch of, you know, high sugar, you know, candy bars or whatever. We're not just saying put something in your mouth when you wake up. We're saying make good choices as you get up. And he stressed, you know, protein. Make sure you have some source of protein with breakfast, again, because your body has recovered from your sleep, but it hasn't taken calories in for 8 to 10 hours. And again, we want to keep that restoration process and the body recovery process. Lucas did a fantastic job talking about fruits and vegetables and all the benefits. I think one of the key things that, from a recovery standpoint, touched on is reduction of inflammation, okay? So many parents and so many kids, you know, when they have issues, when they have soreness, want to reach for a bottle of ibuprofen, the first thing they do. The body is a natural at its core, okay? And so having it recover in a natural state like we're talking about is very important. And so fruits and vegetables is a key factor in that, especially with the reduction of inflammation. Okay, so one of the things that I like to talk to and we talk to our athletes about is having as much color on your plate as possible when you eat. Okay, and we're not talking Skittles and M&Ms. Okay, we're talking about, you know, fruits and vegetables are the most colorful foods possible. So if your son or daughter sits down and they have a lot of brown colored foods and a lot of white colored foods, that's not going to get them the antioxidants that they're looking for. You're going to get some pretty sustained, you know, protein and carbohydrates probably, but, you know, we want to make sure that we're giving the body those vitamins and minerals that fruits and vegetables give. And again, the last thing that I covered was mobility. And again, mobility serves as so many great things for athletes. If you can't move through a full range of motion, you can't play. And if you can't move through a full range of motion, you can't do the things that performance coaches like we're going to ask you to do. We're going to ask you to squat in a full range of motion. We're going to ask you to deadlift in a full range of motion. We're going to ask you to run and do a lot of things through a full range of motion. And if you have poor tissue integrity and you have poor tissue length, you're not going to be able to maximize the things that you're trying to do in the weight room and on the turf. Okay? So again, these are very basic things that all kids, whether they're 8 years old or if you're an adult and you want to train and you're 60 years old, these are all things you should be incorporating into your daily life. and you'll be a lot healthier, and you'll be a lot happier in your training, okay? Take care. Visit our website, www.sportsadvantage.com. Find us on Instagram @SportsAdvantage, and have a great day. All right, take care.